Welcome here. I'm thrilled that you've decided to join us here at our Camp Menesetung fundraiser concert and also our launch of our 2024 season. Today is the day when we have opened up our summer camp registrations for our summer season, and we're here to celebrate. We're going to have some music, we're going to hear some stories, and also we're going to have a chance to fundraise towards some of the projects that camp is undertaking next year. So I'm glad that you've come to join us. First, I think we owe a big thank you to our Lakeshore United Church, UCW, for that wonderful lunch. Let's give them a big round of applause. And also to Culbert's for donating the cake. Yes, Culbert's. Round of applause for Culbert's. All right, so we're going to get to it. We have a few interesting instruments on the stage tonight, or this afternoon, I should say. Some of them you may have heard before, but some of them you might not have heard in this combination. We have a few musicians who are going to be playing on this variety of things, and I'm sure as we go through the concert, we'll get to learn what those things are and how they make music together. All right, without further ado, I would like to invite up our first guest. We have someone who is a longtime camp person, Mary Ross, who worked at camp, well, was a camper, worked at camp as a staff, was one of the directors of camp along with me for several years, and I will just give one highlight of something you should know about Mary. So Mary was someone who created the Outdoor Living Skills program, Out Trip program here at camp, and this past fall, Mary really showed us how it was done, walking the entire Bruce Trail over the course of 6 weeks of straight hiking. So let's welcome Mary to the stage. Yeah. Yes, we're jumping right in. Nancy, I have your wonderful little clicker, but it doesn't appear to be clicking. So would you mind sliding ahead for us, please? Perfect. And we'll go one more. Yeah. Oh, okay, now it works. Perfect. Thank you. All right, so Mary and I are going to play a set of 3 pieces for you on 2 instruments. We have the harp and the vibraphone. And we're going to be playing 3 pieces that are soundtracks to movies. The first one is one you might recognize from Pixar's Inside Out, which I think actually does feature a vibraphone in the actual soundtrack. So this is our take on it, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you. That's just a lovely little piece. I think it's about the character called Joy. So a nice way to start us off on a beautiful sunny day. I just love the way the light hits the stained glass in this space. It's just great. Mary loves it as well. We can all tell.
I did forget my sunglasses. Not what I thought I needed.
So we're going to now jump into playing two other pieces from a different movie. We're moving on to a French film called Amélie. And this is music by the composer Jan Tiersen. And the first one is called La Valse d'Amélie. So it's a waltz. It's a French waltz. So imagine that you're in a lovely French cafe, hearing some nice music. Get into a nice vibe.
If you really feel just pulled to come out of your seat and dance along, we wouldn't be upset.
Oh, no. For those who aren't as familiar with the vibraphone, you might have noticed that this is an instrument that has, I'm playing with mallets, similar to a xylophone that you might have heard of, which is the more famous mallet instrument made of wood. The vibraphone is interesting because it's played with a pedal, similar to a piano. So you may have noticed that when I push the pedal, my notes resonate for longer. So that's what gives the vibraphone its unique place in the mallet family. We're going to play a piece now from the same movie, but this one, oh, it's just a lovely piece. Often, well, it was made famous, I think, in a few figure skating routines. So imagine you're caught up in the wonder of winter as we listen to this one called Compten dans un autre été. I'm not very French. All right. Thank you very much, Mary. We are moving on in our program to tell you a little bit about why we're here. We're fundraising some money this year for some projects that are very important to us that have been kind of started last year and moving ahead. Oh, sorry, we both clicked at the same time there, Nancy. So we have something to tell you about. I want to tell you the story of our capital project that began last year and is continuing this year, which your fundraising will go towards. We have a building at camp, as you can see on the screen, called our Health Center and Staff Accommodations Building. This is a building that it was quite old. Our camp, as you know, has started in the 1930s. This building's been around for a while. It was falling apart. It was prone to mold. It wasn't accessible. Something needed to be done. We needed to have a functional health center. So last year, we had a plan. We started meeting with people who had design ideas. We started raising some funds, and I'm happy to say that progress has been on its way. So here's what we did. So we contracted an architect who helped us work on some plans. I don't know how interested in design you folks are, but basically the exciting piece of the plan for this building is that this is going to be the first time that Camp Menesetung will have a building that has bedrooms, bathrooms, kitchenette, and is 4-season equipped, which means, ooh, all right, which opens up some potential doors in the future for us. And this is also a place that's fully accessible with accessible bathrooms, health center, the whole works. And that, I think, is a step in a direction that camp has not yet undertaken, and we are on the way to stepping in that direction. So that's the exciting plans. So, of course, it begins with the tearing down of what was in there and gutting the place on its way to being renovated. And I'm happy to report that progress has been underway. And right now, this is approximately what the building looks like, where we have it. It's nearly done. In a few days, it'll be all wintered in. But we are still in the process of finishing this building, and it's met with a few challenges, as all big projects are, as you might be familiar with when you're renovating an old building. One of the challenges was, of course, some timing challenges when it comes to busy contractors in a time when there's lots of work to be done. But also, something that we've been learning about and have been putting our minds together about has been the hydro of the camp. So our camp, designed a long time ago, was set up to accommodate its current structure, but we are looking at renovating a building to make it four-season equipped with temperature control and all that, which has bigger hydro requirements. So we have had the advice of Hydro One and local electricians who told us, hey, if you want to do this and do it sustainably, we're going to need to make sure that we upgrade your hydro for your whole site. So this is a pretty big endeavor for us to undertake, but we've been working towards raising the money towards this, and we have made the decision that yes, we're going to go ahead with upgrading the hydro for the site, which will actually, for those of you who have electrical minds, it's going to triple the service for the site, is kind of the wording there. But, ooh, I know. But one of the more visual impacts of that is it does also mean that you'll see there's a hydro pole in this shot, but all along that road, all those lines are going underground. So that's going to be kind of a visual difference for us to see at camp. So we're very excited about this, but of course it's just not cheap, this kind of project. So our goals for 2024, finish the building, furnish the building, and a full site upgrade to our hydro. So this is kind of our mission. And as you can see, there are some costs there of how much it costs, and it's not cheap. So our building cost estimate's just under $200,000. For furnishings and cabinetry, we are very fortunate to have a camp alumni who's going to be building us custom-made pharmacy counter for the health center and a kitchenette for the accommodation side, which we're very fortunate to have. And the hydro upgrade, which also comes with a large price tag. I need to give a huge thank you right now to a few organizations who have helped raise money towards this project. So huge thank you to the Canada Accessibility Fund, the United Way Resilient Communities Fund, Dungannon United Church, Fordwich United Church, Auburn United Church. We have raised over $200,000 for this project. Let's give them a big round of applause. Now, if you aren't like me and you're actually good at math, you might have noticed that we still need to raise a little bit more money. So please spread word to those you know who are able to help us with this. We have a building. If someone wants to put their name on a building, for example, we're happy to enter in a conversation with that. But any little bit counts, and your presence here is greatly appreciated. The other thing some folks might remember from last year is we had this idea. What if we take our existing climbing wall and just build another wall on the other side of it? This would end up doubling the size of our climbing wall and allow us to accommodate double the size of school groups while also giving climbers twice as many options. So this is a project that we ended up pressing pause on last year. We had raised some money, which is still earmarked for it, but we paused it in lieu of having a giant other building that we're kind of working on. But this is also on our radar for a goal for 2024. So any contributions toward those is most welcome in terms of boosting the options that our campers have at camp and also allowing the camp to kind of take that step into growing the size of schools that can come out to visit us. All right, so that's what we're here in support of, and of course also in support of 2024 registrations opening. And I just checked, we opened registrations this morning at 8, and we already have had 20 campers register. So that's pretty cool, pretty cool. Okay, it's now time to feature some of these instruments up here in solo work. Mary, I'm going to invite you back to the stage. Can you play for us a lovely harp solo?
The piece that I was just inspired to create when I got this harp. And I absolutely fell in love with this harp very, very quickly. And it's got a much brighter sound than other harps that I've had before. And it makes my fingers dance a little bit. So this is On Sparrow's Wings.
Thank you, Mary. Now going to play for you a vibraphone solo to try and showcase some of the interesting textures that you can find on an instrument like this. As I don't think, I at least don't go to a lot of concerts where we get to hear vibraphone as a featured instrument. So let's hear a little bit about what makes the vibraphone special. I'm now going to invite Mary back up. We need one more harp solo tonight before we go. This afternoon, I should say.
With all this up and down, it's almost like doing My Body Lies Over the Ocean. When we do that at camp as a camp song, every time there's a B in the song, you go from either sitting to standing. That's just how I feel right now. I feel almost like I'm doing a bit of my body. You feel it tomorrow. Yeah, when we do it at camp, you have to warm up to it as if you're working at camp all summer and you're doing My Bonnie. If you haven't prepared your squat technique before going to camp for the summer, oh man, the next day after campfire, that's a feeling. My last solo that I'm going to do, last harp piece for this afternoon, this is another piece that I composed, but I don't actually have a name for it yet. So this, I would really encourage anybody who's listening to this today to let me know what comes to mind, if you want to, afterwards. Let me know what you were thinking about, or if there's something that strikes you about this piece, because I'd love to know it. Someday it might get a name, even.
one more solo for you tonight. This time, not on the vibraphone, but on the piano. Last year, I decided to play a movement from a piece that I wrote called Persistence. Today, I want to play a different movement for you. This one is about the fall, and I'm going to tentatively title this November Sky. November is my favorite month for skies. I love the drama that we often get in November in the sky. So in this piece, as you listen, I encourage you to see if you can hear the dramatic changes in the speed and the rhythm that I'm trying to evoke with this piece. Anyway, I hope you enjoy Persistence, November Sky. I would now like to invite up a very important person to camp. This is Colleen Lowry, here to tell us what's new for 2024.
It's funny, I've long said that camp is ministry, and so they told me to go stand in the pulpit. So we have a bunch of really exciting things coming up for this 2024 season. I'll talk about them in order from left to right. We've got more day camp happening this summer. One of the things that has been really exciting over the past couple years is that we have seen our day camp really grow under some phenomenal leaders. And I am excited that we are going to be adding more spots to our day camp for 2024. So for just in general, we've got more space for you to come out for day camp, and I'm very excited about that. And we have more weeks for folks to come out for day camp. We're going to be including an extra special adventure week this year that will take place in our kind of short week. We run a beginner's week that runs from Tuesday to Friday after the August long weekend. And in that little chunk of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're going to be running a little test adventure camp, which is to say that you'll get to work on your outdoor living skills at camp. If you sign up for the Thursday night sleepover, you'll be sleeping in tents at camp, and it is going to be a really exciting way for if you're maybe a little bit younger and wanting to try out some of those outdoor skills. This is a really fantastic way to do that, so I'm really excited about that. And our bridge camp, which is a classic part of our day camp experience, which happens where you're in day camp from Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You stay over Wednesday night and Thursday night and go home on Friday, is moving to our 6th week, so week 6, the finale week. So you'll get a chance to spend a little bit more time with some of those overnight campers and really start to feel that overnight experience. So for those who maybe do day camp for a few weeks in the summer and start to build up some great confidence, this is an awesome way to test that and see how overnight feels before maybe trying it out the next year, which is very exciting. Back in 2019, I believe, potentially both Mary and Clayton applied for a Seeds of Hope grant to start in a retreat at our camp for 2S LGBTQIA+ youth and allies. We were not able to get it going in 2020 for some perhaps obvious reasons, if we remember 2020. But by 2022, we started the I Am Awesome weekend. And we brought it back in 2023, and it has been a fantastic retreat weekend that really sets like a really vibrant and exciting tone for our summer. We run it in the spring, and we absolutely love having 2S LGBTQIA+ campers at our camp and creating a safer space for those kids and youth to have an experience of camp. Well, we have been asked time and time again if we would be able to do a full week for our 2S LGBTQIA+ campers. And this year, in 2024, we are saying yes with Menesetung Pride Week. And I am just so excited about this. So it is for youth that identify as 2S LGBTQIA+, or as one of those things. It might be hard to actually identify as all of them. But if you do, please let me know how that works for you, because I'm interested. And also the young people that are coming from families where members of the family are 2S LGBTQIA+ identified, and allies. So if you have friends that are gay, if you have friends that are trans, if you have friends that are non-binary, and you want to come to camp with them, but you are not gay or lesbian or bisexual or whatever else, that's okay. You can come to camp for that week. Just know that our programming that week is going to be focused on youth and families that are 2S LGBTQIA+ identified. So we're really excited about it. It's going to be a lot of just like regular camp experience, but with the people that maybe these young people feel the safest around. So if you know young people in your lives who might need that kind of space, please tell them that we have a week for them this summer, and we're super, super excited about that. And in case you're curious, the I Am Awesome weekend is still planning to be run, but it is going to be, it's a little more teen-oriented, and this will be for every age from our 7 to 15-year-olds, so it's very exciting. Now, Grand Sparks Day Camp is actually not a brand new program. It is a returning program. We started it last year, or this past summer, and it was phenomenal. I know there are a few folks who are here today who had the Grand Sparks experience, and we just loved the Grand Sparks week. It is a week where grandparents and grandkids come to camp together for a day camp experience that just runs kind of 9 a.m. till about 2 p.m. We make lunch together. We do all kinds of camp activities together. If you are maybe a set of grandparents and one grandparent wants to come one day and another grandparent wants to come another day, that's totally cool. That's a way we can do things. But I loved this week. It was so much fun. The folks who participated in it found it to be so much fun. So I encourage you, if you have grandkids with you in the summer, or even if you don't usually have grandkids with you in the summer, but you want to, this is a great way to know what to do during those days. Come out and enjoy the camp experience. I also just want to mention, there's a few other little things. Staff applications open in December. That's coming up really soon. So if you're wanting to apply to be staff for 2024, or if you know someone who should be staff for 2024, please let them know that applications open in December, and we love it when people apply early. It makes us very, very happy because we get a chance to find out who some of our folks are going to be to make all of this awesome programming happen. And I'm just going to check and make sure that I've mentioned all the things that I wanted to tell you about. Let's see. No, I didn't. This is why I checked. We actually have a couple courses coming up in the spring as well, if folks want to take part in getting some skills polished up. So last year, we started running an ORCA certification. So ORCA is canoe certification, so levels 1, 2, 3 canoe. We're hoping to be able to run that again this spring. So if you're looking to spruce up your canoe skills or learn about canoeing, anyone is welcome to sign up for that. We certainly encourage folks who want to work at camp to consider the ORCA training, but even if you don't, even if you just want to be a better canoeer, we are going to have it's an open space to be involved in that ORCA canoeing course. So keep an eye open for that come spring. Also, if you know folks who want to get their NLS or their Bronze Cross or Bronze Med, we are hoping, we haven't got this finalized yet, but we have some strong leads on the potential of running some lifeguarding courses at the end of June this year. So if you know folks who want a lifeguard, first of all, send them to us for staff applications that open in December. And second of all, get them to sign up for our lifeguard course when we offer that. So those are a few things to just look forward to in the spring and the summer for 2024. We still have a lot of those overnight camping classics and our day camp classics as well. So check out our website for all the registration information, and welcome already to the 20 folks who have already registered. Maybe it's like 25 by now. And we'll see you in the summer. It's on this brochure, and these are everywhere, so grab one of those. And I'm going to welcome Clayton and Sherry Ann to the stage.
Much, Colleen. Sherry Ann, who's joining me, is also a longtime Menesetung alumni. Worked at camp as a staff, and for the past few years has been volunteering on our board of directors. So we are thrilled to have Sherry Ann with us, and is going to bring a bit of Celtic flair to our show this afternoon.
Celtic flair. We'll start with Scandinavian tunes, actually. I gave a lot of Scandinavian tunes to Clayton. And I've been diving into the marvelous joys of Scandinavian dance music. And so we have a couple Scandinavian and Shetland tunes, and even one from Ontario. So we'll start off with two tunes, one called Return from Helsinki, which is written by a Scottish person who had spent a year in Helsinki and missed it. And the other one is called De Lounge Bar, and it is written by a Danish box player who wrote it for a bar in Shetland Island where they just play fiddle tunes all the time and have a good time. So we'll play these tunes. with my cello here. I have not learned the cello the way most people learn it. I have never taken classical cello lessons at all. I've mostly been learning folk cello playing, which is often very rhythmic, and I often am spending time almost doing a drum beat. But today I did choose a couple cello tunes, and we're going to start it off with a Québécois tune called La Promeneuse, which kind of means the happy wanderer. And it's kind of almost like a silly little French tune. So if you want to imagine, I'm not playing the cello, but I'm like a Québécois accordion player right now. That's who wrote this tune. And feel free to hum along if you want, or imagine yourself tramping down the Bruce Trail, perhaps. And we'll play La Promeneuse. The next tune that I have is a Scottish tune called McKechnie's Farewell, and it's a totally different vibe, but yes. This is actually the first melodic piece I learned on the cello, and my cello teacher taught me a bunch of funny words having to do with cheese, because that's how she teaches me songs, and so this is how I learned this beautiful Scottish tune.
We have one final set of tunes for you this evening. Sherry Ann's going to switch over back to the fiddle, and we want to thank you all sincerely for joining us tonight. And also, just to let you, this afternoon, I have to get better at that. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. And just a final reminder, if you are interested at all, we have some stickers if you'd like a free sticker. We've got some old Camp 2023 stickers, so you are welcome to have one for free. We also have downstairs, I'm told by the UCW ladies that we have some sandwiches left over. So if you would like to make a donation in terms to the UCW for some sandwiches, you'd be most welcome to make that offer. And we also have some hoodies and t-shirts at low cost in case you wanted to put anything under the tree. All right, thank you so much for coming. And without further ado, 2 beautiful fiddle tunes.
Yes, so we've got another Swedish tune that was written by a nyckelharpa player, which is the national instrument of Sweden. And we're going to finish it off with a tune called The Garden of Hope, which was written by a composer from Paris, Ontario. And it was for a garden that's dedicated to a healing garden for people who have been dealing with cancer and their families and friends. So we'll enjoy The Garden of Hope.
Have a wonderful night. Grab a brochure, ask questions. We're around. Bye.